Hi, my name is Dan Schmitt, and this is Team Chicago Challenge. We're in Dexterville, Wisconsin. We're with the Central Wisconsin Ice Race Association, and this is the state championship for Wisconsin. They've got three-wheelers, they've got four-wheelers, they got studded, unstudded, and they got motorcycles, and they also have a motocross motorcycle class where the suspension cannot be modified. So today we're going to be looking at the heat races, and then next week we'll be looking at the finals. So let's go check out the first race from Dexterville.
Well, the first race we get a chance to look at is pro motocross. It's the first time I've seen pro motocross where the bikes have to use the stock suspension. They cannot lower the bikes. Jumping out front, number 29. It's like John Strangefeld. We got another 29 out there, and that 29 is Jeff Fredette from Beecher, Illinois. Jeff Fredette, ISDE rider and one of the fastest ice racers in the country. He goes around John Strangefeld, number 29. 51 is in third. That looks like Cliff Echoes from Mansfield and a Yamaha. He just moved into second place. Maybe I'll catch Jeff Fredette. These are motocross bikes. They have to have the long suspension. But Jeff Fredette's right at home. I mean, this is what he normally rides, and even his race bikes aren't much different. Cliff Echoes is trying everything. So is John Strangefeld, but it doesn't seem like these guys can quite make it around Jeff Fredette from Beecher, Illinois, picking up the win. Second place was Cliff Echoes. Now we're going to look at the Pro Open quads. Got two heats. Jumping out front. 747. Might have been Todd Wembler. 797 it is. Right behind him now is 43T, 4T3. That's Todd Tigort from Mansfield, and a Honda. Louisville catch. Todd Weinbot. So the open bikes, like there's a Yamaha up front. That's one of them twin-cylinder Yamaha Banshees. We got a Honda, maybe a 500 single. It's hard to tell. These guys battle last lap. So these guys are definitely throwing up a lot of snow dust. It's like picking up the win on the Yamaha is Todd Weinbot. Second place is Todd Tribe from Mansfield. Now we're going at the second Open Pro. Open Pro quads. Like a Honda up front. These guys run a bunch of quads up here. It's like number 6 is up front. It's Roy Navsker from Judah, Wisconsin. Well, he really seems like he's got this track dialed. Let's see if we can see who's in second place. 119 is Rob Robus on a Suzuki. Another twin Yamaha there. so we can watch them going around. Second place, 119. 89 is third place. 89 is Jim Pilsner from Marshfield. Red flag on the restart. Picking up the win was Roy Nass. And looking at the senior heat race, Danny Peterson helped out shooting with the camera, but he forgot to zoom in, so there isn't much to look at in this race. I can't make out who's who, and I'm all the way in the back because my bike did not work again. But before I came this race, I took my engine apart, so let's look at how you take a top end apart on a 2-cycle engine. We're back at the shop at 4 and 6 cycle. First, you take the pipe off. Most of your 2 cycles, there's a spring mount. Loosen up the carburetor. Slip the carburetor out of the intake manifold. Remove the spark plug wire, and now on this Yamaha, it's got 6 nuts holding the head to the cylinder. And the key here to prevent yourself from warping the head's got to be torqued on, and when you're taking the head off, my rule of thumb is I only turn each nut, work my way around, crisscross pattern, and only turn 1/8 of a complete turn and work my way around. Sure, this looks boring and it seems like it takes a lot of time, but if you want to prevent warping your head, because the head has been torqued on using the same pattern, crisscross pattern. I start from the back to the front, then one side to the other side. And as you can see, I'm only taking 1/8 of a turn and working my way back to front. And then side to side in the crisscross pattern. I haven't quite figured out this year why my bike is pinging. And why I keep having problems with this engine. This is going to be an ongoing development because we're also going to race this bike on the dirt this summer. So this little bit of maintenance is, if you want to keep your motor sharp, it's advisable to check the piston. Now that I've loosened up the 6 nuts, I can remove the cylinder head, and now I set it on a level surface. I'm going to kick it over and take a look at the piston. You see the top of the piston is pretty brown, but it looks like it's more burnt, and I've been hearing a lot of pinging, so I'm getting protection from the oil, but it is not right. Now, the same rule of thumb, there are 4 aluminum nuts holding the cylinder to the cases. Same thing, I work my way around 1/8 of a turn using a crisscross pattern. Take your time, work your way around, and you will be happy. Now I'm removing the cylinder. Make sure the piston is down in the cylinder when you take the cylinder off the engine cases. Nice and easy, lift it out of the way. Now I'm going to check the piston. Looking at the front of the piston, tip it back so we get some better light. You can see there's a lot of scuff marks. I'm getting protection from the oil. It's nice and oily, but I'm scuffing on the exhaust side. The piston looks terrible. And even in the back on one side, I'm removing the oil. There's a good film of oil on there, but I'm still getting, still scruffing on the cylinder and looking at the head. Looks like I'm burning the oil, so I'm going to have to try some higher octane gasoline and maybe play with the jetty. Is the Pee Wee ATV. This is an unstudded class. This is the race for the kids. Up front is the one girl in this race, Ashley Carl from Auburndale. She's on a Suzuki.
Oh, she takes her back on the inside. That's number 8. Ashley Carl is in the lead.
It looks like
161, Brandon Anderson in second.
Brandon Anderson is in second, and he's giving her a battle. And number 6 is Ryan Burkhagen from Platteville. We get a good turnout of kids racing these unstudded quads, and they had a great time out there. As we watch Ashley Carl leading this Pee Wee ATV race. Now we're going to look at the 250 Pro. Jumping out front, that's Danny Peterson. Danny Peterson from Franklin Park, Illinois. He's on a Honda motorcycle, 177. Right behind him, 122, is Jeff Fedette. Jeff Fedette from Beecher, Illinois. He's on his 250, and this bike is lowered. This is the one set up for ice racing. But Danny Peterson is looking great out there. Looks like he's got the track dialed. Third place is Tom Luther. Tom Luther from Des Plaines, Illinois, and he's on a 250 Yamaha. He's hanging on, trying to keep up with this battle up front. Danny Peterson still up front. Jeff Fredette trying to figure out a way to get around this rider from Franklin Park, Illinois. Jeff Fredette makes the move on the inside. Danny's back on the gas. Jeff Fredette's got the inside line. Jeff Fredette jumping out ahead. 1 lap to go. Will Danny Peterson get it? Tom Luther still in third from Des Plaines on that Yamaha. We got Kawasaki now up front, Honda, and then Yamaha in third. Going on to pick up the win was Jeff Fredette. Danny Peterson was second, and Tom Luther third place. Now we're at the second 250 heat. Jumping out front, Davey Durrell on a Kawasaki national number. Davey Durrell. But right behind them, number 51. 51 is Cliff Echoes from Marshfield on a Yamaha. And Cliff Echoes just made the move on the inside. What a pass. 250 Yamaha just went around that 250 Kawasaki, but this guy really has got the track dialed. Third place looks like number 2, that's Randy Livingston from Rockford, Illinois. Rick Holder, 21, is back there also. But Cliff Echoes from Marshfield is putting it on this national guy. Number 2, that's Randy Livingston, but Rick Holder trying to make the move on the inside, doesn't quite pull it off. Randy Livingston out of Rockford, Illinois. 1 lap to go. Cliff Eccles Jr. from Marshfield on that Yamaha clearly going to pick up the win in this race. Now we're going to slow it down a little bit. Looking at unstudded novice ATV, and it looks like a twin-cylinder Honda. Looks like a homemade bike there. 98 is right behind them. Let me see if I can check the number on this bike. Comes 98, 81, 81, that's Jay Gorman. 98 is Larry Benedictson from Schofield. But here's a variety of 2-stroke production, unstudded, novice class, and a twin cylinder. It looks like a 250 Honda street engine, put in a frame. This man modified it. It seems to be working quite well. But here comes that 2-cycle on the outside. Who's going to get the checkered flag? Well, he's running into the snowbank, unstudded. Picking up the win is Jay Gorman from Plainfield. Now we're looking at one of the 250 Pro quads. The second heat. Whoa, making the move on the outside, flat flying. Is that number 6? That's number 6. It's Roy Nafsker from Judah. Boy, he's really got this thing dialed. I don't know if they can run the same bike in open and 250 class, but he's really got one that's really working out here. Second place. It's like number 86, that's Fred Nafsker from Judah. Maybe these guys work on these quads together because they definitely look like they've got some great handling, great running. They really look good. But Roy Nafsker from Judah, really, look at him lift that front wheel. He's got some traction on that thing. This thing's getting around like a sprint car. Pull a wheel coming out of the corner. 1 lap to go. Third place looks like Alvin Bertram from Hutchinson. But picking up the win was Roy Nafsker. Second place, Fred Nafsker. Third place, Alvin Bertram. Now we're going to slow it down a little bit. You're wondering, what are these guys doing on these motorcycles? Well, this is unstudded, unmodified tires. They have to run basically stock tires, cannot tractionize them, cannot modify the tires. But this looks like a fun class, and it looks like a type of race that the average guy can come out and just bring his dirt bike out and partake without having to modify his tires or play with his tires. Jumping out front looks like number 10, it's Don Myers from Wausau. He's on a 4-cycle Honda. 67 is Mike Latman from Wyona, Minnesota. And he's on a Yamaha. Whoa, what happened to the leader? Now leading Mike Latman from Minnesota. Oh, he killed his motor. That's Don Myers, but wait, he might have thrown his chain. But going on to pick up the win, Mike Latman. Second place was number 9, that's Jerry Schrom. Now we're going to chance to look at open novice bikes. This is first-time racers. We got a big variety of bikes out there. There's a Yamaha. I can't quite make out his number. 617, but up front, number 29. 29 is John Strangefeld. 0, that's Brian Holder from Rockford, Illinois, on that Rotex. Number 13 is Brad Sheaver from Junction City. He's running Jeff Fredette's Kawasaki. 29 is leading. That's John Strangefelt. But Brian Holder starting to make moves. Going on to pick up the win was John Strangefelt. Now we're going to have one of pro heats. These are the fast guys. Number 19. Number 2, that's Randy Livingston. Number 19. Jerry Wilhelm from White Bear, Minnesota. Rick Holder, 0 on that Rotex. Rick Holder, the Holder family has really been getting around great out here, but number 19 is leading. It's Jerry Wilhelm from White Bear, Minnesota. Rick Holder on that Harley Rotex is running second. Can't see if I can make out any other bikes. Number 2, Randy Livingston from Rockford, Illinois. He's on a Kawasaki. This 4th place there. Randy Livingston is looking pretty good out there. White lap. Rick Holder trying to make the move. He almost hits the outside bank. Can he catch Jerry Wilhelm? No, not today. Picking up the win is Jerry Wilhelm. 2nd place, Rick Holder. Then 3rd place was Randy Livingston. 2nd heat, Open Pro. Jumping out front, it looks like Timmy Farrell from Oak Park, Illinois. Man from Illinois Harley-Davidson, but slipping down on the inside is Davey Durrell. Davey Durrell is out of Minnesota and one of the top national racers. Let's watch Don Wallbeaser on the Cyclecraft 600 Yamaha making his moves. 59K is Steve Cranston from Rothschild, Wisconsin. Watch Timmy. So Don Wallbeaser just made a move down. Steve Cranston's tied right behind him. George Mackin's back there on his Rotex. Don Wallbeaser making a move again as we swing to the front. This battle up front. Oh, Jeff Fredette is now battling with Davey Durrell. Jeff Fredette just moving on the inside. Let's slow this thing down and take a look at it again. Watch Jeff save it here. Slow it down, take a look. David Rail on the outside, staying on the gas a little bit longer. Jeff Fredette finding some traction down on the inside. Jeff Fredette has just moved into the lead. I don't know if that's his 500 Kawasaki. He's got a stable of Kawasaki's out there, but that's number 13. That must be his normal 500, but it's a motocross bike. And there's another confrontation between a motocross style motorcycle and a dirt track motorcycle. Davey Durrell's on a Rotex. As these two battle up front. Tim Farrell's in 3rd place. 87 is Kurt Huxboy from Wausau as we watch George Mack. Music for the show provided by Engine, Mike Preetz, Travesty, and Intrigue. And all this music was recorded at Fireside Studios, Westchester, Illinois. As we watch Davey Durrell finishing 2nd, Jeff Fredette picking up the win.
These two shows have been a found show, meaning I was looking on my shelf for the earliest Oshkosh Winterfest shows in 1994. I found these 2 tapes saying Dexterville right next to it. At that time in 1994, I put on a road race seminar at 4 and 6, and then my 2nd annual road race school at Groton was the first week in April. I did not have time to run these shows back in 1994. So I hope you enjoy these productions. For more information on the Central Wisconsin Ice Race Association, it's CWIRA.com. And they also have a presence on Facebook. To contact me, it's teamdan45@gmail.com. I love to hear from my audience. Please drop me a line. Let me know what you think of my shows on YouTube. And remember, you can always search on YouTube. And I invite you to plan on going to Jim Kirstein's World of Motorcycle Museum. Give them a call at 574-896-3172. They're just off Indiana 39. They're in Winnemac, but they're 4 miles south of North Judson. It's a great day trip to see a great collection of motorcycles. And remember to search on YouTube with Dan Schmitt Motorcycle Racing for great motorcycle racing action.